Today's video is sponsored by Yamaha, who kindly sent this Line 6 HX Stomp XL for review. But because life happened and so many things got in the way, I didn't manage to post this sooner. Consequently, I was able to put this Stomp XL through its paces over the course of a few worship sessions. There are many videos out there giving comprehensive deep dives into its sounds and technical capabilities, so rather than rehash what's already been said and done, I'm going to offer some perspective from someone who's used it specifically for worship. If you enjoy break rundowns, I'll be going through my full signal path and all its components on my current PT Fly rig, so stick around to the end for that. The experience has been an interesting one, so let's start with the biggest problem that you, the worship guitarist, will face. Don't worry, I'll be fair and you see that this is a good problem. Problem number one, it has too many buttons for the typical worship user. The XL and the Stomp both run on one DSP chip, which means that they face the same 8-block limitation, with the XL offering a whole lot more switches than the Stomp. Consider the typical worship guitarist on Sunday. We're told that we need stereo amps going to stereo cabs with a post-cab EQ to tweak it like David Hislop, Alex Strabler, and every other major preset maker out there. 2 amps, 1 stereo cab, 1 EQ. That's 4 blocks taken out from the possible 8 blocks. If you're integrating this with a pedal board, then you're likely using the FX loop, leaving you with 3 blocks. With 6 switches, 3 free blocks means you're likely going to have at least 3 unassigned foot switches. That's a lot of unused real estate on the pedal board, and that was exactly the situation I faced with the first iteration of the board. I just didn't know what to do with the switches. Sure, I could assign more parameter toggles, but at that point, I'm doing negligibly silly things like mildly changing the compressor threshold. That is until I realized the greatest benefit of the XL. Benefit number one, you won't need an external MIDI controller. Both the Stomp and the XL have a powerful feature that will help you cut costs and save space on your board. Command Center, the secret weapon of the Helix ecosystem. My XL board has the TC Electronic Plethora X5, which I'm using for my modulation and time-based effects. Hooking up a MIDI cable and consulting the MIDI implementation table for the Plethora X5, I could assign 2 buttons dedicated to mix levels of my dotted eighth delay from mild to wild. Additionally, I could use 1 foot switch to jump to my special FX snapshot, so called because it stacks multiple effects at once. Pressing the same button gets me back to my main snapshot with the same settings as before, without skipping a beat. And that's how I'm running my Stomp XL. The Stomp XL and the Plethora X5 are functioning as one unit, even more so because the Stomp XL can transmit MIDI clock and the Plethora X5 has tempo sync. Again, I'm saving money because I don't need a MIDI clock pedal like the Sela Quartz or the Disaster Area Smart Clock. It's built into the Stomp XL. And because there's so much built into the Stomp XL, we have the second problem. Problem number 2, it's a very big pedal. My initial idea with the mono small pedal board was that the Stomp XL, Plethora X5, expression pedal, and wah pedal as non-negotiables. As you can see from the footage, I didn't have much space for the rotation segment of the board where I wanted to use it for demoing pedals. This was going to be a problem. And so I upsized to the pedal train Fly, built with my little assistant. Patch cables, pedal board light, aux switch, and nano tuner are courtesy of Rock Stock pedals. Thank you for supplying these. I've had them for a while and they've lasted studio work and live gigs both indoors and outdoors. Do check them out. As promised, a rig rundown of this PT Fly rig, which I'll frame in the context of the second benefit of the XL. Benefit number 2 is the ultimate centerpiece of your setup. It starts with the Line 6 G10, powered by the USB outlet of the Chok's DC7 power supply. It's routed to the Pictronics Philosopher's Tone Micro, my new favorite compressor. Next up is the XL, which takes over as the command center for the rig. I usually place a pitch effect here like the simple pitch, which I use as a digital capo to play in the guitar unfriendly keys that have too many sharps and flats, then send the signal to the FX loop. That loop contains the Hotone Soul Press for volume and wah, the Pictronics Gamma Drive for blues driver style dirt, and then into the TC Electronic Plethora X5. Prepare for some loopception because I have a second FX loop at play within the Plethora X5 just for the Tim V3 overdrive. Why? That way, I can route effects in the Plethora X5 in between my drive section, like a chorus or a univibe, which will be a very different sound. The point is, I'll be able to have options. The Dunlop DVP is used as an expression pedal for the Plethora X5, which can function like a freely assignable volume pedal or for effects expression on any of its slots. That gets routed in stereo back to the Stomp XL, where I process the tone with a retro reel for some preamp saturation, then a pair of stereo amps and cabs. The XL is connected to the Plethora X5 via MIDI for effects bypass, board selection, and MIDI tempo sync, which is the most important feature. With a 2-button aux switch, also courtesy of Rockstock, I can program my presets to match the song tempos in the set list and scroll upwards through the set to ensure my pedals are all perfectly synced. Last but not least, one of the more important utility pieces of gear on the board, the Rockstock bright switch, which I've used as a light, but also more importantly as a power supply for my camera. Whew, that was a lot to get through. I think I basically turned this pedal board into a Helix, but with a wireless and 2 expression pedals. Is this overkill for Sunday? Perhaps, but I also want the flexibility to call on different effects as and when I need to, whether in the studio or on stage. But I want to hear from you. Have you considered getting a Stomp XL, and if so, are you planning to use it as an all-in-one or integrate it with a pedal board? Let me know why or why not in the comment section below. If you've gotten value out of this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to grow the channel. Check out my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can directly support the channel by getting one of these preset packs. I'll be uploading this very preset into the Bethel Signature Pack, so for those of you who've downloaded it before, check your link for a free update. If you like pedal board build videos, I did a previous iteration of the Stomp XL setup on a mono small pedal board. See you there.